Alright, hello everyone, Jim here, and today we are going to continue our World War I scenario on a 1940 to 40 Axis and Allies 2nd edition world map. Now this war has been interesting so far. It's been a while since I've looked at this. So the Japanese are really pushing over. They're pretty irrelevant at this point. But over in Europe, lines are being pushed, Russians are in a sticky situation, the Germans are trying to hold off the French, and now the Austria-Hungarians are trying to, or need to hold off the Italians. And as for the Ottoman Empire, we just need to hold our position in Egypt. And of course, this is the final turn where the United States are not at war. So I will begin purchasing some stuff for them to come over to Europe. Though with the current situation, they might be positioned in a different area rather than France and Belgium, Holland, that area, because the French seem to be doing just fine on their own. But only time can tell. Alright, Austria-Hungary, let us continue with you. And one more thing quickly before we continue the round. Some of you guys in my previous videos have commented saying or requesting that I release a setup list for this specific scenario so that you too can play it. Here's what I plan on doing. Once this series is over for World War I will be recording a setup video. I'll reset up everything, go back on my previous videos so that it is pretty much exactly the same as when I started. Then I'll go into depth on what sort of what units are on what specific territory, as same with ships, and then go from there. But when it comes to the rules, I am referencing the 1914 game. So if you guys don't physically have that game, you can simply look up the rule book online and you can go from there. So that's all I got to say of that. So without further ado, let's continue. Alright, the Austria-Hungarian turn has been concluded, and a very interesting one at that. Starting over here on the Russian front, we decided to continue going on the offensive, and we took the adjacent territory called Bryansk, which was basically Russia's last major defense against the Austrians. However, they were able to completely annihilate the defending Russians, and now that the Austrians are right on Russia's doorstep, and now Russia is in a desperate position where the Russian Revolution may be a possibility. And continuing over here on the southern flank, we are starting to focus our attention over on the Italians. They have been posing a real threat on us. So we took the current units over here and moved them into greater southern Germany to help defend that flank. And then of course we moved all the 2 units from Bessarabia over to Romania to help defend, because to be honest, it would take way too long to come up and reinforce Bryansk. So the Russians have a break right now, because now Italy, because it's closer, is more of a threat to the Austrians than the Russians are right now. And to be honest, the Austrians are in a great position with the Russians so that they can concentrate on Italy, not worry too much about the Russians. Because let's be honest, the Russians are probably going to focus on here more than the south. So the war against Austria and Russia might be at an end. I don't know, I'm not seeing a lot of confrontation with these two anymore, considering that this is what is all they have. Now of course, I'm going to go in there and blah blah blah. Explain more about this situation on the Russians' turn. Speaking of, it's their turn. Alright, Russia had an overall successful round in this round. So first of all, we took the units that were here in Moscow, and we went over to Brinsk to confrontate with the current Austrians. Now, judging by with the map, we had a very easy victory. We lost 4 units. However, we were able to hit every single one of their units, eliminating them from this stretch. So now, basically, oh, this can go away. So now, the Austrians' Russian flank is completely depleted, and it will roughly take about 1, 2, 3 turns for them to push completely pushed the Austrians out. Now, the Austrians are in a really sticky situation right now because they have lost one of their most strongest fronts. And to be honest, I kind of expected that because they were spreading themselves thin. But as for this up here, I chose not to do anything. Man, I would have taken these units over into the Baltic states, but I decided not to because then the German artillery would just come up here and flank us there. I'm pretty sure we could have just came up and went in. But I felt I took the safe route this round and just stuck there and see what the Germans do. So that was the Russians' turn, and now let's see what the Germans do with the Russian front, as well as the French front. Alright, Germany had yet another very successful round. Over here on the Russian front, we have moved our troops into Belarus, which is starting to look like a mistake, but that battle is pretty evenly matched. And we also have air supremacy. And if we fail, we also have the artillery here to help defend something and slow them down a bit. And as for over here on the French front, we have pushed all the Allied units out of Western Germany yet again. And there again with the World War I stalemate war. French have to get back in there. And we also purchased a battleship to help the naval war. Because that's one difference here. There's actually a naval war in this one. So, Germany pushing forward, holding stuff. And also in the race to acquire tanks, Germany has successfully researched and developed tanks. However, because they just succeeded that this turn, they cannot purchase them as of yet. It's a little side rule that I made up. I don't know if it's actually official or not, but if it is, well, there you go. If it's not, well, that's a little house rule that I made just to balance it all up. So let's see if the French, what do you got to say about this reinforcements over here? Alright, the French had a okay round this round. First of all, we took the battleship that was here and moved it over here, and we successfully destroyed the German submarines, thus opening the channel back for the British to continue reinforcing the French. However, our battleship did get damaged, so I'm pretty sure that this battleship's going to come in here and wreck us unless the British reinforce the canal. And also, because the Germans retook Western Germany, they are right in Paris's doorstep, so we basically have no choice but to keep sending troops in here no matter what the numbers are. Hopefully we can get some Americans over here and help us, because I'm sure the British, I don't know, they don't have any transports right now, so pretty iffy of the British support. And we continue to move the French forces in Africa up to Egypt to help with the Ottoman Empire struggle for the British. So now let's see what the British do. Britain also had a successful but okay round, just like the French. First of all, down here, we sent out the 2 submarines over to engage the battleship. Of course, the 2 submarines were destroyed, but the battleship was damaged. So then we just took our battleship, went over, and it finished the job. He was hit, however. Now we have full control of our channel yet again. However, Germany, we need to get something over here to completely stop Germany's power, navy power. As for down here in the Middle East, we decided to do something a little different. Instead of going head to head right here with this monster, we took one infantry and 1 artillery, put them up here into Turkey. Now that we don't have anything to fear, we can continuously do direct assaults on their capital. We failed, however, but we did take one of them with us. And same thing over here with Iraq. We are now in confrontation with them. So we have a possible victory over there because we're just going to send men in there. But I don't know, Iraq might reinforce them too. Continue pushing up. So overall, successful but yet just okay round for Britain. We tried to get the tanks, but we couldn't. So it looks like Germany is going to be the first power to have tanks, which is kind of sad, but all aside, let's see what the Ottoman Empire does. Alright, the Ottomans are holding up to their cause. First up here, we took the single artillery from Caucasus and moved it up to Rostov, just for that, you know, bonus income too. It's very easy, and we took a territory from them. So, and also, we took the artillery, put them in Iraq. Looks like the British aren't going to be doing any more assaults on there because there's no way we can defend against that. And over here, the battle for Cairo, Egypt has begun. So far, we have been able to take out a couple, but from the amount of infantry that I'm seeing, we might be able to hold them off, but I'm not exactly positive if we will. So let's see, move up here to Italy and see what they do with the Austrian line. The Italians were very successful, let me tell you that, but we're going to start right here with the Italians that are caught up in the Cairo-Egyptian battle. We are slowly knocking down the ranks of the Ottoman, but still a big threat, but it is slowly declining. However, over here, we decided to take our one transport at the time, move some guys over to Albania. Then we took the main force that was in northern Italy, moved them into Yugoslavia, which was a manslaughter for the Austrians. Now, of course, we moved these two infantry up from southern Italy to northern Italy. And now the Austrians are kind of in a tough turn here with the Italians. The Austrians lost their first major area of their homeland, and now it is going to be interesting how they respond to this sort of situation here. So, with that being said, we can now zoom out here, head over to this. The one die is gone, and the Americas are now in the war. Now, because the Americans weren't actually like non-thing, like there's an actual player who can purchase units for these guys over here. So because I've been completely ignoring them for these past 4 turns, I'm going to just purchase units for a 4-turn period. Of course, we only have a limit of 20 for each. But because it's 4 turns, it's going to be a lot. So I'm going to purchase a lot of units to make up for these past 4 rounds. And I'll see you at the end of that. Alright, so with America all caught up, these 4 turns, here's what they look like right now. And I've done all the math. I have the perfect amount of transports and the perfect amount of units. So now all of these units here right now can go on these transports at this moment and go to wherever I plan to put them, which I'm still trying to figure out where to put them though. It's like whichever one needs help the most likely. I don't know, it's depending on whether to help the French or to help the British here in the Middle East. I don't know, it's going to be one of those 2 fronts. But right away I decided to do the Japanese this turn because, you know, they don't take long anymore. So first off, right here in the Marshall Islands, they are now in contest with each other. They have not killed each other yet, so those islands are in contest. As well as New Guinea, same situation here. So once these 2 German infantrymen are destroyed, then basically Japan wins their major overall objective in the World War I campaign. So once these 2 guys are gone, then Japan is technically out of the war because their objective is complete. I mean, they're not at war with Russia or anything. They don't have any more enemies. So I'm expecting the next round to be Japan's last turn. So, yeah, next round should be very interesting, along with the inclusion of the Americans. I hope you guys enjoyed this I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment down below on what scenario do you want me to perform on this map. I'm willing to do any one of them that you guys comment on, and if it is within reasonable, if I can do it, then I will certainly take your comment into consideration for a future Let's Play or series. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos. And that is it. I will see you in the next one.